rectangular coordinate shows up in every math class? It is pretty simple. We have a piece of graphing paper, and I divide this graphing paper into 4 quadrants using 2 axes. First of all, let's take a look at this horizontal axis. So this horizontal axis, I will just call the x-axis, and then we have a vertical axis, which is the y-axis. So we have one piece of graphing paper, and then I do one cut horizontally and then one cut vertically. So we just divide this into 4 quadrants. Quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, quadrant 4, and then the 1, 2, 3, 4, we will just use a Roman numeral. Of course, after we have this set up, we don't call this a graphing paper anymore. This has a name. We call this a Cartesian plane, and then most people don't use the word Cartesian plane anymore. They put this on the paper, but when you just like use this in your everyday life, we will just call this XY plane. So we have an XY plane, 4 quadrants, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So in quadrant 1, we have a parenthesis x comma y. What is this? This is a rectangular coordinate. So rectangular coordinate, the way we write this is we draw a parenthesis and then we write x coordinate followed by a comma and then a y coordinate. So x coordinate is a number, comma, y coordinate is another number, and then this parenthesis x comma y is called an order pair. What is order pair? Order pair is location of a point on an xy plane. So for example, let's say we are looking at this point. So what is the coordinate? Coordinate means you have to tell me the location of this point. It is very simple. We look at x first. Do you see that like x starts at 0? So this point in the center, this point is a 0, 0. Take a look at this. I have an x-axis, I have a y-axis, and then I have 4 quadrants, quadrant 1, quadrant 2, 3, and 4. And then at the center, we have a point. This point is called origin. The coordinate of the origin is 0, 0. That means at this point, x is equals to 0, y is equals to 0. So at the origin, we have a 0, 0, which is right over here. So this point, we call this 0, 0, and that is called the origin. How about this point? How about this point? So this point is when x is equals to 4, y is equals to 3, because I see a 4, I see a 3, and then they correspond, they line up to that point. So that's that point, the coordinate is 4 comma 3. So 4 comma 3 is a location on the xy plane. X is equals to 4, y is equals to 3. And then this one is x equals to 8, y equals to 5. And then how about this one? Oh, before we move on to the quadrant, to the second quadrant, do you see that in quadrant 1, both x and y are positive? Because in this piece, x is positive, this piece, y is positive. That's why in quadrant 1, both x and y are positive. But when you move on to quadrant 2, y is positive and x is negative. So that's why I said that in quadrant 2, we have a negative x and a positive y. So let's point out the coordinates. So let's stop at this point. This point is x equals to negative 6. What is y equals to? Y is equals to 4. And then this point is x equals to negative 2. Y is equals to 1. X always goes first. X comma y. There is no y comma x. X first, y second. And then at the third quadrant, do you see that this time both x and y are negative? So let's take a look at this point. This point is x equals to negative 9, right? Y is equals to negative 3. And then this point is x equals to negative 5. Y is equals to negative 5. And then the fourth quadrant, x is positive, y is negative. So that's why I said x is positive, y is negative. And then just check out these 3 points. We have a 2 comma negative 2, and then this point is x equals to 5, y equals to negative 5. This is x equals to 9, y equals to negative 3. That's how easy it is. Again, what is rectangular coordinate? Rectangular coordinate, you have a parenthesis, and then inside the parenthesis you have x comma y. This is called an order pair, or you can call this a point, which tells you the location. The x comma y, the number, tells you the location of a point on an XY plane. Another word for a XY plane is called Cartesian plane. Okay, and then at the center, we have our origin. All right, so let's do some practice. So I have another XY plane, and then I have many points. I want you to point them out for me. So let's match the color. Let's start with the red. Okay, I'll just use this red. And then the first point is 0, 0. That is right over here, right? And then the next point, we have a 5, 0, which is right over here. X equals to 5, y equals to 0. Again, x comma y. And then x equals to 0, y equals to 6, x equals to -2, y equals to 0, and x equals to 0, y equals to -8. So that is the first 5 red points. And then for the blue point, let's match the color. We have x equals to 4, y equals to 8. So that is 4 comma 8. And then 7 comma 1. So 7 comma 1. And then 3 comma 6, x equals to 3, y equals to 6. It is just that easy. And then moving on, what do we have? We have a 6, -6. So 6, -6 is in quadrant 3 because both x and y are negative. So let me match the color -6, -6, so which is right over here, quadrant 3. And then -8, -10, so -8, -10 right here. And then -3, -7 right there. Okay, how about the green? The green is x is negative, y is positive, which is in quadrant 2. So when x is equals to -2, y is equals to 3. When x is equals to -9, y is equals to 8. That is right here. -9, +8, and then -4, +4. That is right here. All right, the pink. X is positive, y is negative. That is quadrant 4. Match the color. 8, -2. So we have a 8, -2. 3, -9. So 3, -9. And then 6, -5. 6, -5. We have a 6, -6, which is right over there. All right, so that is that is all for the rectangular coordinate, and that is also the end of this video. If you like the way I teach math, give me a like, share, and subscribe, and I will catch you all in the next lesson. Signing out.